Nikon Z6 was a great camera but still had the common Nikon issues, like the same old single card slot and all. With some smart tweaks in the specs, Nikon has come up with the second version of the Z6, the Nikon Z6 II. This camera truly possesses impressive features for both images and videos, while still there are some downsides, which users need to know before making a buying decision. And in this video, we are going to discuss all the important features of Z6 II, along with its downsides. With that being said, let's get started. First, let's talk about the most important feature of the Nikon Z6 II, the sensor and the processor. Equipped with a 24.5 megapixel BSI CMOS sensor along with dual X-Speed 6, the Z6 II offers great speed for both stills and videos, making it a perfect all-rounder mirrorless camera in the market. It is capable of shooting UHD 4K videos at 30 frames per second with a full pixel readout, and with the latest firmware update, it can now shoot 4K at 60 FPS, but with a small crop factor. As for the stills, it can shoot 14 frames per second in burst shooting mode with continuous autofocus and single point autofocus. While in other autofocus mode, it can capture 12 frames per second. In addition to that, you can also take slow motion footage, as this camera lets you shoot 1080p at 120 frames per second. Moreover, its buffer capacity has significantly increased as compared to the Z6. It comes with a buffer speed of 124 raw shoots in buffer, which is almost 3.5 times more than the buffer offered by the Z6. As for the colors, there are built-in color modes which you can use while recording. But if you are looking for more control in post-production, you can also record at 10-bit with N-Log. But for that, you have to record via HDMI to an external recorder. Moreover, you can also take the benefit of 12-bit ProRes RAW to get the most out of our footage during post-production. The autofocus has also been improved in the Nikon Z6 II compared to its predecessor. This camera features a 273-point phase detection for both stills and videos and covers 90% of the frame, both horizontally and vertically. There is also a hybrid autofocus system for videos. The autofocus switches between phase detection and contrast detection to provide the best focusing in your videos. Apart from that, the Z6 II offers eye and phase detection autofocus for both humans and animals. But the autofocus doesn't work quite well compared to some of its competitors, especially if the subject is moving too quickly or the subject moves from bright sunlight into shadows. In that case, you can use the area mode, which focuses in a particular area rather than hunting for focus all over the frame. With this mode, a box will appear and anything within the box is tracked successfully regardless of the lighting condition. Another striking feature of this camera is the 5-axis in-body sensor shift image stabilization, which smooths your videos up to 5 stops. Moreover, the stabilization also works with the F-mount lenses attached through an F to Z adapter. As for the electronic viewfinder, it comes with a 3.69 million dot OLED EFV with a lesser blackout time than the Z6. However, despite having a dual processor, the EVF still has a refresh rate of 60 frames per second, which is a bit of a downside. Though its improved buffer and animal autofocus proves its worth in wildlife and sports shooting, you may still be obstructed by the lower frame rate of the EVF. Nikon could have improved it further. Apart from that, it comes with a large 3.2-inch 2.1 million dot LCD screen which performs adequately well in bright lights and everything seems sharp enough. However, the screen is only able to tilt. It is not a fully articulating screen. Though this might not be a major problem for most of the users, still a fully articulating screen would be much appreciated as it is also a video-centric camera besides stills. One of the major upgrades of the Nikon Z6 II from the Z6 is the inclusion of a second memory card slot. The second card slot now lets you do the redundant shooting, overflow shooting, and splitting files between cards. Its slot 1 supports TF Express Type B and XUD cards. On the other hand, the second slot utilizes UHS-2 SD cards. About the battery, this camera comes with an EN-EL15C battery which lets you shoot around 410 shots while using the LCD screen and 340 shoots if you're using the EVF. And if you run out of battery, you can charge it while the camera is off. However, you can utilize the USB-C port to power the camera indefinitely, which is great if you are shooting interviews, time lapses, and so on. So that was all about the Nikon Z6 II. Undoubtedly, Nikon has done a great job by including dual card slots, improving the buffer rate and autofocus. But still, there is some room for improvements, like fully articulating screen and 4K 60fps without crop. So what do you think about the Nikon Z6 II? Do you think it's worth it? Let us know in the comment section.